But I do want to introduce Carol Polizzi is our secretary at the middle school, but for me, you've been a personal friend of mine. We went through September 11th, right? That was a front lines. And it was your strength that you gave to me that made me who I am. Like really helped shape my career in the district, so thank you. So it is an honor that I get to talk to you today. And you know what? Great choice. Great choice. You're a great lady, and I'm so proud to have you here in my office, sitting with me and getting to have a conversation with you because life goes on and we don't get that chance. So this is our opportunity.
Thank you so much. And being asked to participate in this is absolutely nerve-wracking. Let me tell you. Thanks so much.
Why?
But I'm honored that I would never pass up for a minute the honor of you thinking of including me in Inspirational Women in the District. And so I have to go right back at you and say, if I inspired you during 9/11, and that was where our bond began, you don't really understand the impact you had on me, and acknowledging that. It set the tone, it set the stage for me believing that I can make a difference in little ways every day in everybody's life. And that's what we all need. We need that feedback. We need to hear. And we have to each make the decision. Are we going to lift up or tear down?
Right. So how long have you been in the district? Because you were there before I was there.
This September will be 23 years.
Wow.
23 years.
23 years.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about what you do in the district. Well, specifically at the middle school.
Okay. So I am considered clerical support. And I work specifically with one administrator as their secretary.
And you were never my secretary.
No, you were. But that was my next thing is that although I'm dedicated to one person, in the middle school, the way it's set up, there are 4 administrators at any time. There's even been a dean. But you figure for every year, there are at least 4 administrators. And although you're dedicated to one, you work with all. And so it becomes a very cohesive team effort. And because we're only as good as the sum of our parts. Like we all have to succeed to be a success.
Have you ever thought about the thousands of people and children that have come through the doors of the middle school and your presence there and the impact that it's had on all those people?
So, humbly, I would say I haven't actually thought about perhaps what I've done, but I can tell you that that is the reason that I do what I do. I had a mom who her famous phrase was, "Choose wisely, my dear." And another really special moment with Mom was after a terrible situation in my life. She said to me, "Kiddo, you are one class act." The way those words made me feel is something I'll never forget. And I made a decision. I was young. I made a decision. I really always want to feel like a class act. And even if it isn't my mom saying it to me, I have to say it to myself. So that's sort of how I chose to live my life. It's a job, but it also could be a calling. And this is my impact. I promise I will see you, because I will hear you, because the worst thing you can do to someone is for them to feel invisible. And I will feel you.
I want you to take a moment and think about what you just said, because that's why someone selected you, right? Because you do that. And that's so hard for us to sometimes do that. But you've always had this capability of pausing and making a person feel like they're being heard and they're being seen. And that's a beautiful, beautiful quality that you have. So I hope that as we celebrate Women's History Month, it's really also about the next generation that's coming. And you said so many profound things just now that resonated with me. And what would you say to young girls, to a young girl who's just starting out? What would be your one advice for her?
Okay, I have two.
You have 2.
because this is important, so important. No matter what stage your life is in, if you are with someone and you marry and become a mom, keep your friends close. And like any relationship, you have to make time, and you have to stay connected so that you remain relevant in each other's lives. Keep your friends close, and to young students, and I'll admit I've done this. I've been in the diner where 4 high school students were at a booth, and they're all on their phone. And I'm this crazy old lady. I did this at the diner a couple of years ago. I leaned in, it was before COVID. I leaned in, they knew me from nowhere. And I said, put your phones down, every one of you. Look in each other's eyes, hear each other, laugh, cry. Those are the relationships that are going to sustain you through the highs and lows of your life, not how many likes you get. And they looked at me, they pretty much were certain that I was crazy.
And you are not.
But I didn't care, I had to get it through to them. That is my greatest, most important thing that I would say to young people. And there, go back to choose wisely because of social media and how everything is so out there. You have to really choose people you can trust. That doesn't always come when you're very young. And so right off the bat, I say trust mom. Trust that aunt. Trust that family friend who will listen to you and care about how you're hurting or what you're feeling. It's difficult if you trust a friend and then what you say and share goes on social media. It can be devastating.
Yeah. That's good advice. Your greatest power has always been your voice and your messaging. You probably have one of the greatest messagings that I've ever listened to, because even if you're not, even the little things that you said to people, like the little cards, they're like 4 or 5 lines. They're extremely, extremely powerful, and your power comes from that sense of self, and and that's why you're powerful. That's why we're celebrating you on during Women's History Month, right? Because you are such a leader when it comes to that.